Hello everyone and welcome back guys to more Rfactor 2. Yes, I announced earlier on today, obviously in the video where we took on the Nordschleifer in the Mclaren Senna GTR, Rfactor 2 would also reveal that the Porsche Super Cup would be coming to the game. Now, the Porsche Super Cup, for those of you that aren't aware, honestly hands down one of my favourite cars to drive in sim racing recently. I love it on Assetto Corsa, I love it on iRacing, it is just brilliant fun, and I'm sure Rfactor as well have done a fantastic job with this car. Now, this is the 2018 variant. I'm pretty certain they all use an ever so slightly different year, everything like that. But yeah, very excited to be jumping into this car on Rfactor 2. So today we decided we'd head to the Nürburgring GP layout. Now, obviously, we already made the video on the Nordschleifer. That track is brilliant. Again, I've got very high expectations of the GP layout as well. So yeah, let's jump straight into this there. We'll do a few laps here today in the Porsche GT3 Cup car here on, I nearly called it iRacing then, Rfactor 2, and yeah, very excited to be jumping back into more Rfactor 2 this afternoon. Obviously, if you missed the video where we took on the Nordschleifer in the Senna GTR, I would highly recommend going back and check it out. That thing was brilliant fun at the end of the day, and I'm hoping this car is as well. Obviously a much shorter track, so we should hopefully be able to get a few more laps in. Holy moly, it's loose. Definitely need to get some heat into the tyres here, but yeah, we'll probably try and get a few laps in to see what we can muster up in the Porsche. Oh lord, I'm running a little bit deep into there. Need to turn down the FFB slightly, I think. And let's give this thing a go then. Now, the Porsche Super Cup obviously is very popular around the world. I mean, it's when you combine a very well-known brand in Porsche, and obviously more and more sort of these, not tin top racing by any stretch of the imagination, you know, GT3, that style of shape of car, everything like that has obviously become so much more popular in recent years. This thing, though, a little bit different to a standard GT3 car. No ABS, no traction control, a little bit less power, so it's ever so slightly slower a lap than the normal GT3 cars as well. But it certainly just makes it very leery and much more of a sort of, I always think GT3 cars are a little bit weird, because I personally feel quite disconnected from them a lot of the time, but this basically sort of brings that back. You know, you can really sort of slide them around, everything like that, and really you just feel connected to the car once again. So yeah, it's certainly a very enjoyable experience at the end of the day. And instantly, this car does sound really good at the moment as we head up in towards the chicane. Gotta remember, it's not the GT Endurance layout. We've actually got the full chicane, everything like that. And the full chicane, the curbs look to be very aggressive here on here on Rfactor, I should say. I don't know why I keep calling it iRacing. It's probably because I'm used to driving this car on there. But we'll go for a first proper lap then. The curbs are really aggressive on this GP layout. We've got to be careful for them at the end of the day. And it feels a little bit weird between the gear changes. I don't know why. It just seems like it drops a few too many revs. Break it down in towards T1 though. Lock the rears. That's a straight round. Yeah, this thing is certainly very brutal on iRacing. On Rfactor. Why do I keep calling it iRacing? There's something very much wrong with me this evening, clearly. But yeah, definitely, probably just due to the tyre model that obviously you get on Rfactor is just that bit more realistic than any of the others. It really does make, you know, this car probably is very much sort of tyre dependent, unlike what you get on Assetto Corsa or iRacing, where you can get away with a bit. So on here, it is certainly going to be a very difficult challenge, nonetheless. But I'm still excited, and yeah, it definitely feels like it's going to be one of those cars that's easy to learn, but difficult to master, and you've certainly got to try and bring everything out of this thing when you do get it hooked up at the end of the day. Breaking down in towards the hairpin a bit later that time round. Trying to get the nose in, back in, trying to kick out as well there. Give it a couple of stabs of opposite lock, and you do get it back out the other side. Luckily without the traction control. If I had traction control then, it would have just cut the power to the rear, so we would have just gone for a very slow and disappointing pirouette at the end of the day there, but not on Rfactor. Need to watch out for that AstroTurf, and I cannot use that in this thing. onto the back straightaway once again. I must admit, I'm definitely quite a big fan of the Nürburgring GP layout as well. It's definitely not as good as Nord's. I definitely feel it would have suited the more modern F1 cars though. It's just a shame, obviously, they don't really have the money for it. Ugh. Back end really trying to break away very, very early on the braking zones at the moment. So we'll try and go for another lap here, try to get one where we don't spin. Get the back end all sort of going where you want it to, and then you can use the power. A 2-1-2, you'll love to see it. Really trying to have to let off the brakes as you roll the car in towards T1. I think it's just off that camber. Definitely just really, really wants to go away from you. Don't clip the grass. That's not the wisest thing to do in the world. And still, yeah, the back end is all over the place at the moment. It's definitely a challenge. Sounds good though. I wonder if I'm just trying to use a bit too much engine brake with it, more than anything else at the moment, because yeah, it really does seem to struggle right when you get down towards the apex. I mean, like I said in the McLaren video, I'm by no means a good Rfactor 2 driver, but still. Trying to avoid the AstroTurf that time round, running a little bit over eager on the brakes, but we get it just about still on the road. Kicking up a bit of dirt on the exit there as we head now out onto the back straightaway. So I definitely think, you know, good people could probably get this thing close towards a 2-minute lap time. I think we're about to do about a 2:04 or 2:05. Bouncing it over the curves through the chicane. Roll it through the final corner. Backing still trying to go against me. It's going to be a 2:03.9, so yeah, probably a 2-minute lap is definitely what good people can do. We should be able to find a couple more seconds at least, though. Actually trying to take a bit of a wider line through T1. Try to avoid the grass through here. This thing is brilliantly, it's just brutal. You cannot get away with any sort of mistakes. It's all over the place. And that's what Porsche Super Cup is all about. It's not meant to be an easy car to drive, but once you get it nailed down, definitely satisfying as well. And leave it in third this time around, see if that does me any favours. No, it does not. Holy moly. Car's still as eager just to try and tip around on you. Through the Schumacher S. Trying to gain as much time as we can on the exit there. Trying to take a bit more curve this time around, get the front end rotated in. Oh, once again, thought we could capitalise there, but unfortunately just clip up as much dirt as we did last time through. That was probably a bit over-eager. This thing is brilliant fun. Let's try and go for a fly then. See if we can get one nailed. It's so patient on the throttle in this thing. And, I mean, this track as well, you've really got to learn which curves are your friends and which ones are out there to get you. That was a good run though, we got a lot of very early drive out of there. Got the power nice and early. Oh, too early again though. So we tried to come up the hill. Dropped so much time through there, but honestly happy that we kept it going the right direction still. We are really, really pushing on this lap. Again, just slightly too late on the brakes into that. One more lap though in the Porsche Super Cup car then here at the Nürburgring GP circuit. Good drive out the final corner then. Let's try and get down towards that 202. It's a 203.4 that time round. There's definitely a lot more time to find. I think we locked up the fronts there and that just gave us absolutely zero on the engine brake. Honestly, surprised the back end didn't just go round on us. It definitely feels so still. What I love about on things like iRacing and Assetto is the fact that you can get it sideways and still feel like you can, you know, get it back pointing the right direction again. And you definitely don't lose any of that feeling here on Rfactor. Still, I mean, look at that. We were on opposite lock and then you can just plant the throttle and it will still just about get back around if you're not too ridiculous with it. Got a good tidy run out of there that time round. Made about a little bit of time. Now you got to try and get the car onto the curbs, nice and tidy on the power. That's how you get a tidy run through there. Now we've just got to try and nail the final chicane. In towards the final corner then. Ugh. It's going to be, what, near enough 3/4 of a second, 7/10 we found in the end then when we finally got a lap, for the most part, hooked up. And yeah, definitely, I feel if I nailed a lap in this car, we could probably get it down towards the 2:01 mark. Top guys, easily probably around the 2-minute mark, probably a 1:59 or 1:58, you know me. Obviously, setups as well, I'm sure, make a huge, huge difference on this car as well. But what a car. iRacing, why do I keep calling it iRacing? Rfactor 2 have brought two brilliant pieces of content out here today for all of us. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Do get yourself subscribed as well if you're new around here and you do want to see more Rfactor 2 content on the channel, obviously when new content is released. But yeah, these two, they're a deadly combination. I'm very, very much looking forward. You know, if there was any leagues on Rfactor 2 that run the Porsche Super Cup, I'd certainly be tempted as well, obviously depending on the schedule. I would be terrible, but I'd certainly be tempted at the end of the day. But yeah, that'll do us for this one then. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Do get yourself subscribed as well if you are new around here and you do want to see more Rfactor 2 on the channel. But yeah, that'll do us for this one then, and I'll hopefully see you guys next time for another video.